You may qualify to receive your diabetic testing supplies now with little or no out-of-pocket cost, regardless of your age. All you need is Medicare or private insurance to be potentially eligible. Call the Diabetes Solution Center right now for details. Just takes a couple of minutes. Our friendly, knowledgeable agents will give you free, no-obligation information, handle all the insurance paperwork, and make sure your supplies are delivered directly to your door for free.
Call U.S. Medical Supply 24 hours a day. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. Call right now. 800-597-9323.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. Let's be honest. Wheelchairs are heavy, bulky, and ugly. If you carry a wheelchair in your car to take care of a loved one, you know how hard it is getting that clunky, old-style wheelchair in and out of your car. Introducing the Feather Chair Wheelchair. At 13 pounds, it's the world's lightest wheelchair. It folds in seconds and fits neatly in your trunk, backseat, or closet, so you can take it everywhere. And it's only available right here. Order yours today and get a free wheelchair case, a $50 value, yours free. The Feather Chair. The world's lightest wheelchair is just $4.99 with easy payments as low as $16 a month. Sorry, no Medicare or insurance accepted. So call right now to order yours.
800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. That's 800-823-5826.
Got a deck carpet giving you the blues? Tired of your old dingy and broken tile? Let my friends at the Floor Store in Cleveland, Texas give your home the makeover it deserves. This is Old Taco Joe coming to you for the Floor Store. Whether it's carpet, tile, wood flooring, or real wood laminate, the Floor Store can cover all of your flooring needs. Located at 405 West Henderson Street in Cleveland, Texas, owner Brent Harris can help. Shower tile, tub surrounds, even backsplashes. Give them a call today at 817-641-9444. The Floor Store, they got you covered.
Joco Community Radio. Listen live at tunein.com.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. How are you guys doing today? Happy Monday. This is Positivity Toolbox with yours truly, Diana Roberts, life coach, and many other amazing things that I do throughout my life, which is awesome because I'm grateful for all the opportunities and things that I have available to me and at my fingertips, especially with this new year. I'm super excited. It's kind of what we're going to talk about this today is the new year, the new us, new year. I've got Lyric with me. Lyric, are you there? Hello? I can't see you, Lyric, or hear you. Are you there? Good morning. Okay, well, as soon as she can start talking, we will hear her soon, I'm sure. So what we're going to be talking about, though, today is we're going to be talking about, a new year, the obstacles that happen, that come up, the mindset that can shift and change back to some of those bad habits that we continue to our subconscious continues to bring back, even though we're saying, okay, we're going to get fit, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. You set all these goals, and then it kind of can backfire on you. So we're going to talk about some of the things that her and I that have been doing, especially like an accountability partner is always very awesome as well. You need an accountability partner for sure. So she is my accountability partner, and I feel as if I'm hers because we already talked about it. So she did say that I am hers. So yay. Okay, so again, we're going to be talking about a lot of that, but I wanted to say some facts about, especially for women. It's really good for men to be active too, so I'm not singling you guys out by no means. However, for us women, it is very essential as well for us to make sure that we have some kind of activity throughout our day. So here are just some facts. More than 60% of US women do not engage in the recommended amount of physical activity. That's huge. That's pretty huge, guys. We need to step that up. We definitely need to step that up. I'm seeing like more men work out nowadays. I really am, especially like all the different age groups too, which is so great. So that's pretty incredible in my book as well. And then we've got more than 25% of US women are not active at all. So that's a huge percent. That's 6% that don't engage in the recommended amount of physical activity. And then we've got 25% of women that are not active at all. So those two numbers combined together, that average is quite like more than not, right? So we definitely absolutely really need to start stepping up our game, in my opinion. I think that that's huge and it's needed. We are definitely needed to have some kind of movement every day, each day, even if it's just walking. It says even it's just small walking and different steps and all the amazing things. So, um, uh, all right, here we go. Okay, so let's see. I'm still waiting on Lyric. She should be here any minute. So she having some mic sound problems, but that's okay. That's okay. We gonna get it fixed. We gonna get it fixed. Okay, so I'm going to keep going. Physical inactivity is more common among women than men. And that's what I was just saying, right? I see more men being like taking care of themselves a lot more than we do the women. And that's no bueno. And I say no bueno because our to live a long, happy, and live your best life, you need to feel healthy, you need to feel accomplished, and you need to feel fit. And look, a lot of women, I understand, we try to like go with these diets. I can tell you, I have been through so many different diets thinking that that was what was going to benefit me, even though I enjoy working out. I really do. However, I still wanted to try to accomplish a diet as well and lose faster, maybe, something, we want results instantly. So, and that's why a lot of the New Year resolutions don't work out because we don't see those results right away. You start going to the gym and you get on the scale and you see that you weigh more. And women are notorious for this, like getting on the scale all the time. Don't do that. Stay off the scale. If you ask me, the scale is not where it's at. It's really in how you're feeling, it's how your pants are feeling, or shorts, whichever the weather is, right? But those are the things that are essential for us right now is not getting on the scale, making sure that you feel good, that your clothes are fitting, and a lot of times that number it goes up because of the muscle that you're gaining. Women tend to, and men, we tend to gain muscle faster than we start losing and breaking off some of those fat cells. So again, working out, walking. I'm telling you, one of my friends, she walks constantly every day, not even for much. I think it's like 30 minutes. She takes like a 30-minute walk every day and she looks great. She looks absolutely phenomenal. And she's an older lady too, so that's even better, right? So no matter your age, no matter what kind of things that you've got going on, there are modifications that you can do for certain workouts, and find something you like doing. Dancing, honestly, dancing is a huge, huge benefit for one, and it's fun. And even if you don't think that you can dance or you got a left foot, I'm telling you right now, dancing is huge. So that right there is finding what you want to do, finding what fits you. If it's attending group classes, go to group classes. If it's going to, Lyric and I, we prefer Hotworks. Hotworks is our thing. That's our jam. We like to go to Hotworks and burn off all of those calories and burn off all the additional things. Plus, it's the infrared sauna. The infrared sauna has healing powers with any kind of previous injuries. It also is good for your skin. And look it up. Look up Hotworks and all of the amazing benefits that it has for you. And honestly, again, if you have injuries, it works for me. I've had ankle surgery, I've had knee surgery, and I'm still getting out there. I'm still working out and I'm still doing me. So that is important. We got to keep that going, right? So, um, I don't know where Lyric is, but that's okay. We will get her eventually. I'm excited to have her on the show. So the other thing that it says is social support from family and friends has been consistently and positively related to regular physical activity. I'm going to read that again. Social support from family and friends has been consistently and positively related to regular physical activity. So again, her and I, we hold each other accountable. So in the morning, she'll send me a text, or even actually the night before, we schedule our hot works routine or whichever hot works we're going to join or participate that next morning, and then we share it with each other and say, hey, this is the one I want to do. Like, cool, let's do it. So that next morning, I've already been accountable the evening before by my friend saying she's going. So I need to get up and go. And I know she feels the same way. And then sometimes we've had a habit of, hitting the snooze button, and I don't really feel like getting up this morning. Oh, that sucks. But again, that's where it's at. That is where it's at. So there's so many amazing, what am I trying to say? There's so many amazing possibilities when you have somebody that has the same kind of goals and ambitions that you have, being around like-minded people. And that takes us to, Lyric and I were talking about this morning, there to everything is a mindset. Everything that we do is a mindset. If you really want to accomplish anything in life, it has to start with your mind. And then it has to start with the action. So you've got to put your mind right and then get that action in place. So something that I was sharing with her this morning is, hey, I have decided to start. So I have a lot of alarms that go off in the morning because, again, we don't want to get up that early. I'm getting up at 5:15, 5:30-ish just to go work out at the gym. And that is early. I mean, I'm an entrepreneur, so do I really have to get up that early? No. And that is a mindset right there, right? It's like, I'm an entrepreneur. I can get up whenever I want. I can go do whatever I want. I can work out whenever I want. However, I'll tell you, I feel the best and I feel the most energized. I feel the most motivated when I do get up that early in the morning and get my workout in and get my meditation in. That sets the tone, that sets my day, and I get more accomplished because of that. So what I started to do is I started to set multiple more alarms that were a little bit earlier. So I've got one now that starts at like 5:10. I've got another one that's at 5:20, and then I've got one at 5:30. And my 5:30 is the one I can snooze. Okay, when it gets to the 5, oh wait, I got that wrong. Okay, the 5:15 is the one that I can snooze, and then the 5:30. Now the 5:30, that's my 2 snoozes. I tell myself every morning or every night before I go to bed, I've got 2 snoozes, then I'm getting up. I can only hit that snooze twice. That's it. Then I'm up. And so setting that in stone with my mind already the night before, that morning, it makes it actually move into action. That's when I'm able to move it and put it into action because I've set my mind for that. And then I've set the things to help me make it happen. And then I'm actually putting forth action. Now, the other thing that her and I were talking about was we were talking about, oh, good morning, Tanya. Thank you for joining. Hello. If you guys are listening or, watching live, definitely let me know. I love to get feedback. I love to hear from you guys. I love to see that you guys are listening and tuning in. So I really appreciate you, Tanya. Thank you. I'm grateful for you this morning. So again, the other thing that we were talking about that you can do. So if you haven't read Atomic Habits, I highly suggest it because we have bad habits, and that's those bad habits from last year. We can bring them into the new year, even though we have all these goals and ambitions. I have no idea what that is. What? Oh, I've got a phone call. Okay. Hello, good morning.
Diana, it's Lyric. I figured I would
Oh.
just call in this way because for whatever reason I could hear you, but just like you could not hear me. And I think, technical difficulties.
And that's okay. Hey, I'm glad you called in because now we can have this conversation together.
Yeah. For sure.
So
I know.
this is one of my
Like,
best
you
friends.
motivate me all the time. Otherwise,
Oh,
my streak wouldn't be going.
same, same. That's what I was sharing. I know you could hear me. So, yeah, you are definitely my motivation and my accountability partner. You keep me on task and keep me in line, and I love it. So
Oh, yeah. I think we just have goals, and it's easy to forget that whenever you're tired, hungry, all of the above, stressed, whatever it may be.
right, absolutely. And so, okay, so when we do get there and the your whole day, how does your whole day work out for you? After we've gotten that workout in then that
Yeah,
morning.
I notice it's just so much better. And days that I don't go, I notice it even more because it's like it just feels already behind the ball. And used to, I would think that it would take a long time out of my day to get up and get it started that way and get a quick workout in. But then I find afterwards that I actually have more time. I have more time because I've gotten up early and I could, kind of make coffee or whatever it is and get ready for the day.
Right. Yeah, right. You feel like you've got more time, so you feel a little bit more relaxed. You feel more a little at ease and, more productive, right? Like I mean, I feel a lot more productive after we get a workout in.
Oh yeah, I agree. And just like because I sit a lot during the day and I get restless and stuff. So if I've done that, I've kind of got that energy out of my body, that restless energy out. And if I want to like walk at lunch or something, I can to kind of maintain. But yeah, it's a great way, I think, to start the day. So I do regret it if we don't go.
Same, same. And then, okay, so I don't know about you, but I know I feel really kind of down on myself. Like I let myself down
Um,
there for a little bit,
well,
not for too
I think we're
long.
really hard on ourselves because my goal is only to go 3 times a week. But I found myself like last week when I was questioning, I was about to fall off on day 4, Thursday, and because of you, I got there, but and kept it going. But I was hard on myself, even though I had reached my own personal goal. I still wasn't satisfied with that. So it was like, I don't know. I don't know why we give ourselves such a hard time either. Because sometimes we do need those recovery days. Like sometimes your body will tell you, okay, sleep is great today.
Yes. Yeah, sleep and sometimes our body does need that actual, additional rest. And so a lot of times when I start like when I start feeling bad about myself or I'm feeling like down on myself, like, oh, I let myself down, that's when I kind of shift, you got to shift your mindset again, right? Like, and that's what you did. You said, okay, I just need a little bit extra rest. And that's perfect. That's ideal. You don't want to give yourself, too many excuses to where you keep continuing to do that and fall off. However, again,
Yeah.
your body will tell you what it needs. So if you need a little extra sleep one morning, or, if you just need to take a rest, like there's times where my knee was bothering me or my ankle was bothering me. And I was like, hey, girl, I don't think I'm going to make it this morning. My ankle has been really hurting me. And, you've got to listen to your body too. You absolutely have to listen to your body. So,
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing too. It doesn't have to be some extravagant workout. It could be 15 to 20 minutes of something that works for you throughout your day, just incorporating movement in your day and being a little bit healthier. And we all have different goals of where we're at and where we want to be, but we just have to start somewhere, like taking those first couple of steps, like especially because our body's having to get used to that too, and then we can increase what we're doing and the intensity or whatever.
oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with that 100% too. So, back to bad habits, like I was just sharing with them about Atomic Habits and how it's such a great book. Like he really expresses so many different variations of how to break a lot of those what we would consider a bad habit. Right? So, and it's whatever that bad habit is, whether it be smoking cigarettes, whether it be, not getting active, but wanting to, not being productive throughout your day because you allow so many distractions. I mean, it's all those things that he hits on and gives you different ways to be able to break those bad habits and shift it into a good habit and start being more productive or start being more fit in your life. And one of the things that I was telling you this morning that you were like, that was so genius, was he said to put your workout clothes right next to you. Right. And what I did was I took my end table that I have next to my side of the bed and I put my workout clothes in the bottom drawer.
Which I think is great because I don't like to be messy, but if I do that, then I feel like if I leave it out on the dresser or whatever, it's a little messy and I have cats and it's just like, no, but that's so genius. Like just, yeah, being prepared. And so there's no excuses. Like I don't like that's why I like what we do, because I can just roll out of bed, throw on quick tennis shoes, throw my stuff in a bag, go, grab a water or whatever. But I try to have my towel ready and everything. So that preparation is actually key to your success, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And then, of course, like you said, like the mindset. And so I already expressed what I do with my alarm. What helps you get up in the morning? Like, because everybody's different. So we're all going to have something that benefits or works for us better than somebody else, right? So what is one of
Yeah,
those things
well,
that
and
helps you
I
get
told
up?
you I'm not much of a morning person and never really have been, but I think that like early on it was much harder, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. And that's why give yourself grace through the process, because it is a process and you've got to retrain like old habits that we were talking about. Not even like your conscious mind wants to make a decision and it maybe has made up its mind, but then you have a subconscious that's been trained this habit for so long, and it's just part of its programming. And that's what we have to work towards, really changing our habits.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And like I don't know if you've had any friends like this. I've had some friends that are like, I don't like working out.
Yeah, like I said, just find something that works for you. You don't like that's my big thing too, is some people like group classes. I'm not that coordinated. I always feel silly. And I like more like kickboxing type exercises, anything that has to do with that. So everybody's different. Like find something that is fun for you and motivating for you, because once you get there and you start like sweating, your body's naturally just going to feel better. You're like eliminating toxins, and you get this boost of like probably serotonin and dopamine. I don't know which chemicals are released, but it's like we're under so much stress throughout our day, and when we release that from our muscles, it just feels really great after we've actually done the activity. you know
Absolutely, absolutely. I completely agree with that. And I feel like too, you feel accomplished. Like you feel like you like accomplishing something first thing in the morning. There is something huge about that. And what it is that's what I think sets the tone for more productivity throughout the day. I don't know how you feel about that, but it's been proven, based off of research that when you do something like you accomplish something first thing in the morning, even if it's as little as making your bed. Did you know that?
Yes, I've heard that before. Yeah, there's somebody that says that. I don't know if it's a general that speaks, but yes, I have heard that. Like the simplest task
Yeah, I'll look up his
can.
name. I can't remember off the top of my head right now who that was, but yeah, he did a study on it, and honestly, like you feel more accomplished again, just either making your bed or getting up and getting a workout in. And that's how it works for me. It makes me feel more productive for sure. So I love it.
Yeah, and I think back to the Atomic Habits and that James Clear, the book that he wrote, he talks about consistency being greater than intensity, and like building that behavior, because I know for me, like that's what I'm working on personally, is the consistency. Because like we always say we'll do really good for a couple of months and then we'll fall off for a couple of months and then we'll get back on for a couple of months, but then like our weight's fluctuating and our health is fluctuating and we don't feel great. And so I'm just trying, like I said, to do, set reasonable goals, just adding a little here and there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that that's really important too. What you said is, at least 3 times a week. So you start with 3 times a week and you keep going, and then it gets easier to want to do it more frequently. Right. So, I mean, and that's what kind of James Clear talks about in Atomic Habits too, is if you want to start working out, go sit in the parking lot for 5 minutes. You got there, now you're already there. You might as well go in, at least get a 5-minute workout in. So,
Yeah, what he says, we don't rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our system.
yes.
So,
And that's why mindset is so huge. That's why I
yeah,
feel mindset is
he
so
says that
huge.
your goal is how you filter your decisions. So, like as you're making those decisions, like you're saying, your mindset, as long as you have that goal in mind, like it's not going to be a perfect line, that journey that we were talking about, like you were
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
It can be a little windy. It can, we have good days, bad days, things happen in our lives. But as long as you keep that goal in focus and take those baby steps, eventually you'll look back and say, wow, like I've actually come a lot further than I thought. Just like saving a dollar here or there, that money will continuously grow over time.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like this, like with all the facts that I was talking about, physical activity does not need to be strenuous to achieve health benefits. It doesn't have to be weights. If you don't want to do weights, then you don't have to go in and start doing weights. If you don't want to do CrossFit, you don't have to go in and start doing CrossFit and go real heavy and hard. It's just getting there and doing some kind of activity, and you do have to switch it up. You absolutely do have to switch it up. Like for us, like I know Hot Blast is like so easy sometimes, and it's like 15-minute workout. We can go get our tea at Hidden Creek. You can do all that kind of stuff. However, it's good when we switch it up, when we like say, okay, well, tomorrow morning we're going to go at 6 a.m. and we're going to do yoga, or we're going to do bands, or we're going to do, buns, hot buns. And so a lot of those things, like you want to switch it up because your body can get used to doing the same thing all the time. So then you're not seeing results either. But again, it doesn't have to be strenuous. It can just be getting there and making it work for you.
Yeah, it's great for circulation. It's great for stress relief. And I mean, you're still going to burn calories. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just think it's so easy by the time we commute to work, sit in the office all day, commute home, we have to figure out dinner. Like we're so tired and we're exhausted. And that's why for me personally, if I don't get up and go in the morning, well, I'm pretty reasonable that it's not going to happen the rest of the day for me. So, I mean, I've kind of tried to change that mindset a little too, though, and say, okay, I can still recover today and get a workout in. It's not too late. So again, mindset.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I will say, like, I'm like you, like the later in the day it gets, if we don't go in the morning, it's really hard to get out there. You keep finding like, well, I got to do this. Okay, well, dang it. Now I got to get home. Oh, I'm running out of time. And so it makes it even more challenging to go later. However, it is actually very beneficial from what I've heard from, physical trainers, that it's actually good to switch it up even from going morning to evening time. So I even thought about, maybe try to utilize my weekend sometimes, like try to use like, hey, let's go at like 4:30. That's usually later than what we do. And then we still have time to go home, shower, and do something later that evening, hang out with friends or
Yeah.
whatever. So I was going to talk to you about that, I think. Wait, so now I'm talking to you about it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And also, like, it's January, so the time's changing, and it gets easier because the weather, and then the days, it'll start to be light earlier, and we'll have more daylight. So, yeah, it'll get better as spring approaches, and it makes it easier, I think, to work it in, or at least you feel like you have more time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, I love that you said easier because, and we might have to talk about that or hit on that a little bit more when we get back, but easier, when you tell yourself it's easy, or when you tell yourself I can do this, instead of saying that's hard. Right? We were talking about earlier, like vocabulary. Vocabulary is huge. And when we shift our vocabulary to a more positive vocabulary, and a vocabulary of things that we actually want to happen instead of things that we don't want to happen, because that's typically where human brain goes first, is what you don't want to happen instead of what you want to happen. Right. And so,
Yeah. And
oh,
it's like you've already made up your mind and you've not left any flexibility in there for, your circumstance to change, or that there might be an option, that to figure things out. But
yeah, absolutely. And life is about obstacles. You just got to overcome. There is a solution to every problem. And so, if you feel like this is, I was going to say too, like if you feel like you don't like working out, I would suggest finding something that you do like to do that is active, though. Like
exactly.
it could even be as little as like going to the park and taking walks. We used to do that. We used to walk and run the park in Joshua, and that's a great park to do that with, honestly, if you ask me.
Yeah, I agree.
I really enjoy
And there's
doing
a
that.
lot of like free groups or groups that meet on, Saturday mornings or whatever. And like I said, as it warms up, I think there'll be more of that runners clubs, maybe, mothers clubs, mothers fitness clubs, like they're in the community. So some of those groups.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, hey, Lyric, stay with me. We're going to come back from a quick little break. We're going to take a quick little break, guys. So stay tuned. We've got some more awesome insight and some more facts for you too on health and staying healthy in the new year, new you, new year, or new year, new year, new you. So, all right. So we're going to be coming back here in just a little bit. I'm so excited to have you, Lyric. So hold tight. I'll be right back.
Thanks.
Wilfred Brimley for Loafing Dog.
I'm Wilfred Brimley for Loafing Dog. You know, when I get the hankering for a hot dog, I go to Cleveland, Texas. Just a couple blocks off the square, they got Loafing Dog. They got the Neely Dog, the Mary Sunshine Dog, the Casey Dog, and the Shirley Dog. Why, they even got the Pacer Dog, the Brooklyn Dog, and the Jim Dog. Can't forget the Shane Dog, or the Joy Dog, and the Monty Dog. I like that fool. The Nakia Dog and the Braxton Dog round things off. Why, they even got a kids menu too.
Loafing Dog, 208 East Chambers Street, Cleveland, Texas. Lunch, catering, or takeout, plus outdoor seating. Phone numbers 817-556-1040.
This is Wilfred Brimley. And don't forget, Loafing Dog won't give you diabetes.
Hey, there's something you forgot to do. It sure is hot. Are you sweating like a dog? Wait, what? Dogs don't sweat. Oh no, you forgot to get your window tinted. Whether it's the kitchen window that sits in the sun for the hottest part of the day, or you just got new wheels, call Sharp Window Tinting in Burleson. 817-615-9379, or look them up on the web, sharpwindowtint.com.
Fast Track Student Loans. Get your student loans out of default. Stop any wage garnishments. Stop collection calls. And stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395.
You're listening to Joco Community Radio.
Okay, got it.
Oh, there, I hear you. Oh, hello. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, wait, I still hear you on the phone, though. We've still got you on the phone, so I don't know if I'm hearing you from both or maybe. Okay, hello? Are you there? All right, well, I'm going to read this really quick. Hey, guys, welcome back. We were trying to see if we could get her on video. Okay, so Joco Community Radio is proud to be the voice of Johnson County, Texas, and is live 24/7 on the TuneIn Radio Network. TuneInJoco.com is the place to find all the ways to listen and watch, and the station app is also available for free on Android and Apple devices. Simply search your store. Check out our lineup and more at JocoCommunityRadio.com. This episode and more brought to you by Patriot Claims, making your insurance work for you. Reach out to your Texas sales rep at 844-839-4245. Again, that's 844-839-4245. And also be sure to dress your arms and more at thetiffy.com. I like that. Yeah, definitely check out the tiffy.com. That's pretty cool. I love how she's got that going for us. So little sleeves that you can put on instead of, having to have an undershirt on. I think it'd be great for like those that like to ride motorcycles too, to be honest.
Okay. Oh, and I'm thinking of the pageants and just like adding a pop and an accessory, and they're just super cute. So
they really are. And the lace ones are super cute. I like the lace ones too. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Tiff, we really talking you up this morning. I don't know if she's listening, but so welcome back. Thank you guys for staying tuned. This is Positivity Toolbox. It's been a little wonky, but that's okay. We love that. I love challenges. Challenges are great in life. That's why
this was very last minute. Trust me, my anxiety was flaring. I think the last time I was on, we talked about anxiety. So, just, rolling with it.
Right? Exactly. You just breathe through it, right? Mm-hmm. Just breathe through it, get through it. Everything works out. It's good. All right. So, okay, where did we leave off, Lyric? Oh my gosh, hello.
You were talking about vocabulary and like the language we use and how that kind of sets the tone.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, one of the things that has really benefited me in that aspect is it definitely shifts into, so I'm always really typically a positive person. I think everybody that, listens or knows me personally knows that I'm pretty majority of the time positive. I got a smile on my face all the time. I'm ready to go, be happy. However, there are times where I don't have that. And again, a lot of times that's because I have shifted my vocabulary. So, but being aware, and we were talking about this earlier too, right? Like being aware of that shift, being aware of it instead of losing yourself in that vocabulary or losing yourself in that moment, being aware that you're there can shift it really quick too. So what's happened with me is I've been able to shift that a lot faster because I've been doing it more. I've been working on my vocabulary. I've been working on saying more positive and more, gratefuls every morning, and you know affirmations. Affirmations are huge too. Just talking about yourself, looking at yourself in the mirror and telling yourself how beautiful you are, how amazing you are, how you're going to seize the day every day. I mean, that helps when you set that tone for that and then get a workout in, then do meditation. That's huge. Would you agree?
I totally agree. I think maybe I told you I listened to a Tony Robbins podcast recently,
Yes.
and he was basically saying whatever you identify yourself at, you're going to stay at that level in your life. So if you say, fill in the blank, whatever it may be, I'm depressed. Well, you're just setting yourself up and giving yourself a ticket to feel that way. But if you believe that there's, hope and things like that, you can kind of pull yourself from that. But mindset is huge.
Absolutely. And like saying depressed, instead of saying depressed, we're going to say calm before action. you know and if you guys want any of these vocabulary options, I do have them available. So definitely hit me up on any of my social media platforms if you want to see some of the different vocabulary words that you can shift from that are very common. These are just majority of the more common ones versus some others. There might be some missing, but if you ever have any questions on one that you particularly say and you want something to shift it to, you can definitely absolutely reach out to me too. I'll help you with that as well. So it's what I do, right? So back to being fit, women with chronic health problems such as heart disease, diabetes, or obesity, or who are at high risk for these conditions should first consult physician before beginning a new program of physical activity. Women over age 50 who plan to begin a new program of vigorous physical activity should first consult a physician to be more sure they do not have heart disease or other health problems. So the reason I wanted to emphasize on that is because that's a big deal, guys. That is definitely a big deal. You really need to make sure that your doctor gives you a right regimen, a right plan of attack when it comes to what's going to be best for you and your body to get active. So I definitely wanted
And
to hit on that.
can we just talk about that too? Like,
Yeah.
it's so complicated the way that insurance and everything works, but I have found the best doctors and people through recommendations from friends and family. But I would just say, like, do your research too to find somebody that understands you, because I think you have to be an advocate for your own health.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with that as well. I really do. And health is a mindset too, to be honest. If you're constantly sick or you're constantly not feeling well, I mean, you definitely want to get looked into, get that looked into, but also check your mind space too. Where's your mind all at all the time? Is it constantly, in a um is it constantly worrying about that? Is that something that you worry and stress about, is your health? So therefore you're putting that out into effect by providing that mindset of you're always sick because you're constantly worried about it. That's another thing to really address and look into as well. And figure out if it's
Yeah.
you that's setting that tone, right? Or if it is in fact something going on with your immune system, and there may be something underlining that's going on. However, if there's
Yeah.
not, then that's a good variation to figure, like, I mean, not variation, but that's a really good, you know, knowledge base to know that, okay, this is me. I'm making myself sick all the time. Because our mind will do that. Our minds are very powerful. Very powerful.
And I just think that they go hand in hand. So if you're taking better care of your body, you're going to just feel better mentally too. Like, you're not going to feel, I don't know, just the yucky feeling that we feel when we don't take care of our bodies. So
Yeah, and food, what we're consuming too. Food is a big contribution to if you're feeling
Yes.
sluggish or
I
not
had a
feeling clean.
great conversation. I told you my sister and I got a facial this weekend, and the lady was just informing me so much or reminding me so much that like we can have breakouts and cause our skin to have issues if we're not eating right or drinking water and she was also reiterating take care of your skin just like you do your teeth. Do it daily, whatever your skincare routine is. And she, stressed SPF and, just all the things that we have to do, but just baby steps, and then you'll get there.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that I had to shift my mind to too is, making sure I'm taking care of my face as well. The older you get, the more you start seeing a difference when you're looking in the mirror, which is okay. However, there are things that you can do that are, like I do vitamin C every morning. I started doing, and I know it sounds really weird, but it's like the snail secretion uh, serum that you can put on your face. It's really awesome. I'm actually going to look it up so that I can, give you guys the exact name for it. Uh, however, it's definitely there to help you to provide better skincare for sure as well, and like rejuvenate it and bring it back. So I think it's called RN if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm looking
Well, I
at
know
a
when you're younger, you just don't really listen to anybody. I mean, and it's just hard to figure out, but just you'll get there.
yeah, absolutely. And ask your friends what they're doing. Like so how I found all of the ones that I've been utilizing and using is because my friend, she uses it and she's in her 50s and she doesn't even look like she's in her 50s. She looks like she's more my age or younger, right? And I'm like, "What do you do?" And she gave me all the things that she does and it's amazing. Okay, it's SH. So it's snail repair intensive facial serum with vitamin B3, 2%, plus B5 morning recovery and remedy. I got to pull it up all the way. Where was I? Oh, remedy skin repair, plus helps repair damaged tissue, plus protects skin from free radicals. So I love this stuff. I mean, I have definitely, by the time since using this with my vitamin C and then the moisturizer that I use too, I'm telling you, I have definitely been seeing a huge difference. And you have to do it though, right? So that's another thing. Like that's another, new you, new year, new you. If you want to start taking better care of your skin and take care of better your health, all of those things are a mindset and it's putting it into action. Like I was saying earlier, you're not going to see results if you're not putting it into action. You might get all the stuff and then it just sits on your counter for a while. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah. You know what I did? You can look this up. It's like a
Yeah.
grid and it has all the months and their days and they're just boxes like pixels. They're each a box. So like January 1st has a box all the way through, the end of December has a box. So there's 365 boxes there. And I've just been coloring them in for like I have one for working out and I'll just color in the box if I worked out that day.
Oh,
And then
okay.
that way it's just like a cool visual reminder. And at the end of the year, I can look back, but I just think it's satisfying to be able to like check that box off a little too.
Is that like an app or something that you're utilizing?
I'm old school. I have my little, because I started a little journal too. Like granted, I wanted to start it probably at the beginning of the year, but I just started it. And so, like again, just do what works for you. But it's like we were saying, it's never too late to start something new. Like just go ahead and get started.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely. Okay, so I've
but
got something similar to that. I've got my time blocker, and so it's got like to-dos and habits and memo, and of course my calendar that is also attached to it. So I've got all these blocks on there of all the things that I needed to get done throughout the day, but then I have my habits. Like I can check off hot works. I can check off
yeah,
my meditation with Daily J because I did that already.
it can be simple. You can just list it and just do tick marks, and then count back the tick marks or whatever. And it's just satisfying to be like, okay, I did. I need to give myself more credit because I did work out 7 out of 10 days or whatever.
Right. And you start to feel more accomplished too. And then, that's a result. Like, even though you may not see it or feel it just yet after the workout, because again, working out and getting fit and everything, that takes a little bit of time to start getting, like, say you have like a really big goal of you want to lose, I don't know, anywhere from say 15 to, 50 pounds. That's still, regardless of that time frame, it's still going to take a little bit. It's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to see your pants looking a little bit, smaller or bigger on you. You're not going to see any of that right away. But I like what you're saying, because that shows results right there. You're
And it
actually,
motivates me. I want to cross off more boxes. Like I'm like, oh, I can't wait to cross off another one. Like honestly, it's that like juvenile that I'm get excited to, okay, now another day I can cross off a box. Like it's that simple.
I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. So I mean, I guess I've been doing the same thing, but I wasn't not exactly the same way, but I love that. So, find different tools that work for you. Like I was saying, like I've got the time blocker app calendar on my phone, and that's what I utilize.
Yeah,
Lyric.
just little helpful reminders because we get so busy, and consistency again is key. So I've been also, like you said, just setting reminders on your phone for key times. And then for me, drinking more water is huge. I'm not a big water drinker, so I'll leave like a couple bottled waters like in my bedroom or in the office and leave them around so it's convenient because I'm like setting myself up for success.
I love it. I love it. It helped me with the water bottle situation. I used to have that, and now it's become a pet peeve of mine. If I find any water bottles around my house that are half drank, and my husband's really notorious for doing this too, because he's not much of a water drinker. I typically drink a lot of water all the time. There was though a time though in the beginning, like, well, I don't know, I don't remember when exactly, but where I was doing that too. And those cups, those cups that keep your ice cold. And I realized what it was. I realized why I was doing that. I like cold water. I know it's not the best for
Mhm.
you. I get it. I get it. But I love cold
Yeah,
water.
I think there's two types of people, room temp or cold, and I'm a room temp, so I totally get it. But those
Yes.
things are nice. They do keep the ice a long time, and I have one, and I am conscious about like the plastic waste and everything. But honestly, if I don't do that, sometimes I won't drink it, and I need to have a better system. Again, it's a work in progress. So
Yeah, absolutely. And that's again, so you got to find what works best for you. But the fact that you are doing your due diligence and you're putting forth some action and reminding yourself and you're aware of it, that's half the battle, right?
yes, because
Oh,
then I can start to make an effort because I'm aware of it. Like, okay, and just again, more baby steps until I get where I need to be.
exactly, exactly. And this is the thing. I feel tell me what if you agree with this. I feel like we have been told and taught wrong for so long about being perfect. We feel like we have to be perfect. For some reason that has been embedded in generation to generation, and it's time to break that. Break that. I'm going to tell you this is what your mindset needs to say, okay? Progression, not perfection.
Yes, I would agree. And like I was thinking, this morning, like I am my own worst critic. And like I know they say not everybody has an internal dialogue or monologue or whatever, but like I hear my voice inside my head and again, don't know if it's just anxiety, but like criticizing yourself throughout the day, like, oh, why'd you do it that way? You could have done it, like why are we so hard on ourselves?
Exactly. And so that needs to shift too. I totally agree with that. And, I fall short on that too. I'm not going to lie. However, again, being aware of it, I started to get aware of it. I was like, wow, why am I telling myself this? Why should I even think this way about myself when I'm absolutely amazing? I am limitless. I'm an amazing being. I'm an amazing person. I strive to live my best life, and I strive to be my best self daily. So why am I telling myself these things just because, maybe I had a learning, and I don't like to call it failure anymore. I've been calling it learning experience, just because I had a learning experience, where, all right, that I don't need to do it like that. Let's do it like this next time. It's all good. So it's really shifting your mind, and that's not easy to do. But again, we got to change our vocabulary and tell ourselves it is easy to do, and start telling yourself that daily. This is easy. This is easy. I can do this. Am I right?
I agree. So, like, when you catch yourself having a negative thought, like, it's okay. It's natural, especially like if you need to process like anger, sadness, or whatever. But don't get stuck in that negativity. Like, tell yourself a couple positive things to offset that negativity because we have to be able to offset all the negative, like with positivity. We have to generate that positivity and put it out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is what I was sharing with somebody else, like you're if you have a positive mindset and you have this positive energy that's like it's just like vibrating out to everybody, what you're putting out is what you're bringing back. So if you've got all this positivity that you're like just projecting that energy out to everybody else, they're going to start providing that back to you, even those that you thought never would.
Hmm.
I mean, I've seen it happen.
Yeah. It's harder than it seems. I understand, definitely been there, very low. So, it takes a good support system. And, that's why it's important for us all to take care of each other as well and encourage each other,
Yeah, absolutely.
check in with each other.
And surround yourself with like-minded people too, and I know you're like, well, that's my best friend, I've known her for years. But again, Lyric, like, I mean, I know, we've been through this before with like past experience, like, past experiences, past relationships, right? You know that when you're not within that same kind of mindset, it can definitely affect yours if we allow it, right?
Yeah, I actually thought of a quote. It's not perfected yet, but basically it's like, fruit on the vine, or, hang out with your own type of fruit, because if there's one piece of rotten fruit, what happens to the other fruit around it, and then you get stuck there. And so at some point, um, you know, it may be time to move on and release and move to that next level. And like we were talking about, something old sometimes does have to go away before something new can flourish, like winter and then spring comes. And so.
Exactly. I like how you worded that. That was beautiful, Lyric. Absolutely beautiful. This
Oh,
is why she's
thanks.
one of my besties, y'all. Because that's what we do. We need to feed off of each other, and we do feed off of each other, even when we're not really necessarily trying to feed into that. That may not be something that you like to do that your friend does, but you're still feeding into it because you're around it so much, right?
Yeah, it's still, you're still included in that, whether we think that we're not or we are.
Right, exactly. And so, how I've said it is, if you do feel like you're not around people that are like-minded, that feel like that you feel can, you know, help you to, like what her and I are doing, we're holding each other accountable on all things, not just working out, but we hold each other accountable on what's going on in our lives too, right? I mean, I feel like we do. What you think?
Yeah, when we get the weekly check-in, and we get to check in and just set the pace for our day with, positive intentions. But yeah, like we all encounter things, and I think I'm learning, like I'm learning still the triggers and how to be better, and I'm responsible for myself and how I react to everything, and that's all we can control, is like ourselves, and then encourage others.
Absolutely. And, again, if you do have somebody in your life that is not, within that same mindset, or, maybe shifting you in a different direction than what you really want to go, I highly suggest loving them from a distance. You can still love them, you can still check in with them, but love them from a distance. And don't surround yourself too much with that. Find, again, like she was saying, when you find something new, that's very beneficial, and it helps you out. I feel like it helps tremendously when I
Yeah.
realize that. And that I
Yeah.
can't control me. I can't control others.
And that's another healthy thing to do, is when you have that built up, that stress, that tension from whatever, just to get a quick workout in, even if it is a 15 or a 20 minute, I think it will improve your health, and it's a start. And, it can't hurt. I don't think anybody would ever regret that.
No, and honestly, it improves your mindset too, and it improves your brain. Your brain needs that activity just as much as your body does. It absolutely does. Like, and that's why the water is very essential. Water is really good for you. Like, so whatever you're feeding your brain is what your brain is going to produce too. So again, I definitely feel like if you have always had this resolution every year and haven't accomplished it yet, start using some of these tools that Lyric and I have been providing you to this morning, and start trying to do it. Like, we really highly suggest it, because again, I mean, it's working for you, right, Lyric?
Yeah, the muscle is growing, you know what I mean? It's improving and getting better, and I'm excited and I just feel better overall. So I think whatever it is you can start to incorporate in your life, even if it's just walking further, like parking out further and walking further, that's a huge accomplishment for yourself, and that's something to be celebrated.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And man, I will tell you this: like Lyric and I, we've been working out for a long time together. We've kind of held each other accountable for this for a long time. There was that little falling off. I had an injury, so I fell off a little bit. But man, I was still really proud of you because you still kept it going. You didn't give up on it completely. You kept going, and I was really proud of you.
Thank you.
You're
Yeah, I
welcome.
mean, we're getting older, so I start to get more concerned. Like when I was younger, I didn't care so much, like you were saying about the skincare or anything. But now that I'm getting older, I'm starting to be more, aware of what I'm doing to my body and want to be taking better care of it.
Yeah, and I think that that's very essential. I mean, I want to live a long, beautiful, amazing life, see my grandkids, be able to spend time with my grandkids, be able to play with my grandkids. So, there's a why. There's got to be a why to everything. Maybe it's just your why is just to be healthy again. There you
And what
go.
I found out is like that why, like, you've got to do it for yourself. You really can't do it for anybody else. There are motivating factors, but ultimately it's for yourself.
Right, exactly. So, and I love that you said that too, because I know that there are some relationships where, and I've seen it. I've seen this happen where the man is going and working out, and he's doing all the things that he needs to do to be healthy, but the wife is still like in that same past mindset, I guess, and she hasn't really shifted gears yet. And I know the husbands try to, talk them into that. However, again, you can't control anybody else. So, but I know sometimes like women will try to do it just because their husbands are being or not being, but they're saying things like, "Hey, you really should do it too." And they're trying to push you, or, they may not even be saying it correctly because men sometimes don't always say things the way we want to hear it, right? Doesn't mean that it's not intentional. A lot of times, just, keep that in mind. It's not intentional. It's just they have their own way of, they talk to, it's like they talk to their guy friend, like, man, what are you doing? You're getting fat. That's what they would say to their boy, their boy, their brother or whatever. So, don't hold that against them, but at the same time, let them know, hey, that hurt my feelings. But also, again, like what Lyric saying, you got to do it for yourself. You can't do it for somebody else.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if we fold every time there's a critic out there, well, nothing would ever get done. So many people can sit there and say, oh, you can't do it. Because
Yes, that too.
I've joined Facebook support groups for some of my goals. And there are people out there that, even if it's not somebody you live with, that can help encourage you for your goals. And they don't have to be doing the same things. You can be a positive influence to them with your actions. And then they can make that choice. We're all able to do that for ourselves.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely. And a lot of times seeing it from somebody else, like seeing somebody else doing it sometimes actually really starts to shift that mindset for yourself too. So again, if you are in a relationship where you feel like one or the other, you're concerned about their health or whatnot, just know to be patient with them and just keep doing what you're doing, take care of yourself. And again, for you men, don't talk to your wives like you talk to your boys, okay? Have you heard that? I've heard it. I've heard it. I'm like, what? No.
I hope I hope that we've all learned our lesson, but yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Oh, it is
I
end
think
of show.
like I said, we can all be critical. So,
Yes, absolutely, we can. And don't be critical. And don't be your own worst critic either. Look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself you're beautiful and you're amazing. And
and look how far you've come, and then you'll go even further.
that's
Like
right.
today's a new day.
That's right. Thanks for watching, guys. We love you guys. Have a wow week.
If you are trying to quit drinking,